Hey guys, Bearded Guitar is here. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. So today we're gonna have a look at 4 jazzy chords. They have a neo-soul jazzy flavor. Part of them are taken from a chord progression that we often play on the channel. But today we're gonna analyze this chord progression to understand how we can possibly use a chord that, shouldn't fit into the chord progression or into the key that we are playing, okay? So let's start by understanding the first 3 chords, which are C major 7, B7, sharp 5, so this is an altered dominant 7th chord, okay, and then E minor 7, which we can play as an E minor 9, I would say, like this, okay? Now, this chord progression is fairly common. I play it on the channel quite often and I analyze it as the flat 6 major 7, 5-7 altered, 1 minor 7 in the key of E minor. So we are in the key of E minor. C is the flat 6th degree, okay, and it plays a major 7 chord. B is the 5th degree dominant 7, but we played it altered because of that sharp 5, or if you like, even the flat 9, why not? And then the 1 minor 7 or 1 minor 9, which is the same thing. Key of E minor. I'm playing finger picking, and as always guys, you can find the full finger picking pattern with the ghost notes and all of the nuances and sauce on my Patreon page, where there are the tabs, music notation, chord analysis, chord numbers, and all of that. Now the next chord that I want to think of is an A, okay? Now in the key of E minor, A is the 4th degree, and like in any other minor key, the 4th degree is supposed to be minor 7. So I could play this, followed by this, then this, then this. But I don't like it, it just doesn't fit in my opinion. So how about turning this A, which is supposed to be minor 7, okay, turning it into an A dominant 7th chord. That's an A7, particularly this is a shell voicing, no 5, 1, 3, 7 of this chord. And then adding an extension. Extensions, guys, are those notes 9, 11, and 13s which go above the 7th, okay? Particularly this time we may choose a 13th and get this A13. If you are unsure about all of these 9, 11, 13 chords, there is a full lesson on the channel that I recently uploaded. You guys seem to enjoy that lesson, so I'll link it in the description in case you have missed it. But this is an A dominant 7th extended to the 13th. This is the 13th. The reason why I like to extend it to the 13th is simply because this note, F sharp, is the same note that I was playing in the E minor 9 as the top note. So they share the top note. There is a sort of arrangement in this chord progression, because the first 2 chords, C major 7 and B7 altered, they actually share the highest note, which is the note G, okay? And the next 2 chords, E minor 9 and A13, they share the same note on top, which is F sharp. Okay, this is how I like to play the chords, and I like to arrange the voicings of these chords, okay? But like we said, this would be a 4. In this case, now a 4 dominant 7th, which we don't usually have. Now, if you guys have seen one of my recent lessons, which was about chord substitutions and how you can turn a chord progression into something completely different by using a bunch of chord substitutions, you may know that sometimes we do make chords that are not dominant 7th. We make them dominant 7th if they are the 5 of the chord you're going to. But in this case, the chord progression is over and you are about to start back from C major 7. And clearly, A7 is definitely not the 5 of C major 7. So, in other words, it's not a secondary dominant, okay? Yes, you may explain it with a modal interchange, but I want to give you my point of view on this and why this seems to sound good, at least to me, and this is the reason why I like to use this chord, which is the 4 dominant 7th, which, by the way, is very common in the R&B and gospel tradition, okay? Now, when you play the 1, the E minor 7 or E minor 9 in this case, followed by the A7, you are actually doing an effect, you are pretending, you're tricking your ears into a 2-5, 2 minor 5 dominant 7. In this case, in the key of D, okay, like a 2-5 in the key of D, but we are not in the key of D, we are not even going to a D major 7, so it's just a trick, but it makes it sound good because you are kind of like expecting a D major 7 coming next, or any form of D, to be honest, but it doesn't arrive. So the fact that we are expecting a chord that doesn't arrive, which is something very common in deceptive cadences, for example, makes it interesting to me, because you go like, you think it's over, you actually go here, or you say, okay, that there might be a 2-5 going here, like, but it doesn't. It goes and start again, okay? So in this sense, we are introducing the A7, the A13 as an external chord, okay? Which is nothing but a fake 2-5 going to D, but in actual fact, it's a 4, dominant 7, in the key of E minor, okay? So once more, flat 6 major 7, 5-7 altered, 1 minus 7, 4 dominant 7th, okay? Which is where things take a little turn and they change in terms of flavor, like if you are spicing up or you're cooking, okay? So hopefully you guys like it. Let's play it a couple of times. And so on. Okay, so hopefully you guys like it. Please let me know in the comments if you like it. And because we recently talked about moving things in different keys, chord progressions and songs in different keys, why don't you try to get the chord numbers for this chord progression and move it from the key of E minor to another key, but keeping that 4 dominant 7 at the end of the progression, and see how you like it in other keys. And remember guys that you can download the tab, music notation, and the chord numbers with the full theory analysis of this chord progression on my Patreon page. You can see note by note what I was playing, what's the pattern, where I was placing those percussions, those ghost notes on the 2 and the 4, and more. That's all for this quick lesson, guys. Thanks for watching.